Ayan. Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng Deep Dive. Pasensya na hindi natin na tuloy kanina. We were hoping to have Secretary Llamas on this show, but ang hirap ng time zone difference from here in Oxford and all the way dyan sa Recto, hindi, sa Manila. So hindi natin na-squeeze in yan. First of all guys, before we talk about ayun na naman yung mga leaders na naman natin sa Pilipinas, mapapaganyan ka talaga guys. My goodness, ang priority dapat sana ng mga senadors, mga leaders ngayon ay tulungan yung ating mga kababayan in Cebu at saka yung mga talagang yung mga syudad na talaga naapektuhan dito sa nakakatakot na earthquake na nangyari. Sa totoo lang guys, yung earthquakes talaga nakakatakot yan. I experienced that when I was basically toddler nung nag-earthquake sa Baguio ng 1990, grabe. And even though barely fully form yung ating I was the 2-3 years old lang nun. All I can say is that it's one of the most horrific experiences there. So talaga nakikiramay po tayo with all our hearts, uh, our prayers for all of the affected families as we speak. Tumataas po yung death tolls. Lampas na sa 27 yata yung huling nakita ko. So our deepest condolences guys and our prayers and love dun sa mga apektadong pamilya. Kudos to different mayors, different LGU leaders from across the country who are showing support to sa ating mga kababayan sa Cebu. Of course, kanina nakita natin that no less than Mayor Vico Soto ng Pasig City immediately expressed the readiness ng kanyang LGU na magpadala ng suporta dyan sa Cebu. Again, our continuous prayers for Cebu, and we hope to see more mayors, more LGUs from across the country prioritizing helping yung ating mga kababayan, ating mga minamahal na kababayan from Cebu area as they cope with this really tragic experience. Just I was updating about this the other day, nakita ko rin na parang nag-erupt pa yung volcano sa Taal or something like that. I was like, oh my God, ano ba nangyayari? Diba? Like, ang dami nangyayari sa ating bansa. Kawawa talaga ang Pilipinas. Ito na nga, nabaha nga tayo ng literal na binabaha tayo. Binabaha nga ng Manila ulit nung isang araw. Oh my goodness. And then may volcano eruption. Ito nangyayari sa Cebu. And then all of this just remind us na bakit why are we stuck with this kind of horrible leaders? Probably the most incompetent political elite anywhere in the world. Probably bottom 10 the worst political leaders anywhere in the world. And priorities guys. Yan na naman tayo, priorities. Alam mo guys, dapat ang priority ngayon ng mga politiko natin ay tulungan yung mga ating mga kababayan in Cebu and different places of the country na apektado dito. Not to mention yung mga nagre-recover pa lang sa mga baha, yung mga ating mga kababayan who are trying to cope and just to survive. Itong high cost of living, food inflation, and food insecurity sa ating bansa. And guess what, guys? Kaysa naman, ay nako talaga. Ayun na naman, kung saan naman yung priority natin. Let's talk about our Senate, which is supposed to be the august body. It's supposed to be the highest chamber of the land. It's supposed to be the embodiment of the highest aspiration of the nation. It's supposed to be the hall of the great minds and the statesmen and luminaries, diba? Discussing the national interest. At sa gitna ng itong crisis na ito sa Cebu, sa gitna ng itong talagang trahedya na nangyari, sa gitna ng lahat na ito, nagkaroon pa ng oras itong mga senador na ito na bumoto sa isang bagay na completely beyond their jurisdiction. And worse, it has exposed the moral bankruptcy of countless of these people. Pag-usapan natin guys yan. Ang daming time itong mga senador na to. Ang daming time eh. Kaya pala sabi ni dami rin time pala mag-insertion pala nung last Congress, allegedly, di ba? Ayan ang problema natin guys eh. Kaysa itong mga to ay tumulong na lang sa bayan or mag-focus sa mga issue na mahalaga. Inuna pa tong issue ni Digong na interim release and all. Hello? It's beyond your jurisdiction. You have no power whatsoever over the ICC. This is completely beyond your jurisdiction. Anong ka-ekan lang to? Itong resolution na nagpapakyut lang kayo sa DDS dahil gusto niya manalo sa sunod na election, gusto niya maging bisa ni Sara. Didn't we see enough of Hindi ko na lang patulan yung mga sinasabi na iba na nag-apply mag-vice presidente. Pero, what the heck was that all about? Jesus Escudero ranting about yung former Speaker of the House sa Congress, si Romualdez, nagbabama. Tapos, andun pa si Sara Duterte. What the heck is going on? Ano nangyayari sa ating bansa? Ito ba yung kalidad ng mga senador natin? Kaysa klaruhin yung sitwasyon, kaysa magbigay ng solid na defense dun sa mga akusasyon. I mean, guys, come on. Guys, come on. Comelec mismo ay nag-certify na talaga may mga contractors na malaki na andyan yan eh. Yung mga big contractors na nag-donate sa kampanya ng mga ibang senador dyan. This is on the record. Hindi ito script. Hindi ito whatever. I mean, this is out there. It's a fact. We can talk about yung mga istoryae or mga kwento-kwento dyan or mga kwentong barbero dyan about this guy having that bag, that guy getting this money or whatever. But ito, obviously, andyan na yan. Andyan yung resibo. Sino yung mga contractors na nag-benefit, kaninong senador, etc. Sino mga senador na involved sa mga ganitong proyekto or malapit sa ganitong mga district engineers na gumawa ng ganitong mga kalokohan. Andyan lahat yan. And then what you see from Cheese is what? Attacking the former Speaker of the House. And then Sara is there. Alam naman natin, guys, that's just partisan fights which have nothing to do with all of these accusations about flood control, corruption scandals, etc. Right? Before pointing out that other people are tama, first of all, ayusin mo muna yung sarili mong kaso. First of all, explain. Diba? Papadispar pa yung isang kaibigan pa natin. Tapos pinalabas pa. Alam ko, confidential dapat pag ganun. Parang, hello, what the heck is going on here, guys? Yung mga style na ganito, kaysa magbigay ng isang klarong depensa doon sa mga nangyaring kababalakan, well, supposedly hindi pala nangyari kababalakan, kaysa mag-reassure ng tao na walang kababalakan na nangyari, kaysa mag-reassure ng tao na wala silang ginawa in terms of getting campaign donations from people who would clearly present a conflict of interest issue, diba? Kaysa and then kaya nga sabi ko nakakatakot itong situation na to because kung ito ay magiging mudslinging, I mean, let's be honest, the Cheese versus Martin Romualdez things is really fundamentally about the impeachment issue. Martin Romualdez mobilized the number of votes necessary to get Sara Duterte impeached on solid grounds. Remember, these solid grounds were not forwarded by Martin Romualdez or his allies. It was forwarded by progressives like sila Percy Sendanya, yung mga Makabayan Bloc, etc., civil society, because there were 3 different complaints before the 4th one, right? And then next thing you know, eto si Cheese ay mag-parmesan effect dito sa papakit, papadelay, doon sa fourth with na yan, magsa-sophistry, ek na yan. Tapos ngayon, sasakyan niya yung parang sinasakyan niya, like, what is this? It's like, is he trying to like ride itong DDS attack, the whole tambalos-los thing? Right? Clearly, if yung mga DDS natutuwa dito sa mga atake kay Martin Romualdez because Peter sila dahil si Martin na nag-mobilize ng votes to essentially get Sara Duterte impeached, right? I'm like, let's be honest about it. Like, I mean, but that's a political fight. That's a partisan fight, right? So if you want to clear your name, explain to us why there was nothing wrong with XYZ that put you under scrutiny and in this case cost you the presidency of a certain legislative body, right? And sabi ko, nakakatakot yan because, I'm all for accountability. I mean, couldn't care less how many trapos fall here, right and left. But, guys, imagine a situation, Senate goes and subpoenas or calls into Blue Ribbon Committee yung former Speaker of the House or isang top leader ng Kongreso. Next thing you know, yung Kongreso naman ay pupunta dyan, tapos papaano naman niya yung senador, sabihin natin. And then what? Mag-aaway sila, who are you? Parang, sino ka ba para papaano ako? Or ikaw, sino ka ba para ganun? Tapos mamaya, paik-ek pa sila sa mga interparliamentary courtesy, pero yung pala, nag-ano lang sila, nagpiping-pong lang sila ng mga nagmamatslinging lang sila. And where is this gonna go? Where is this gonna stop? Right? Kaya nga sabi ko, mahalaga talaga for BBM to make sure na, again, this is Ferdinand Marcos, so sorry na lang sa mga DDS, ayan yan, na-trigger na naman yung mga DDS na yan, but sorry na naman sa mga DDS, Kayo nagpanalo sa mga Marcoses. Kayo nagpabalik sa mga Marcoses. Kaya ano na lang. Okay, bago kayo ayusin niyo muna ang sarili niyo, okay? Kayo ang may kasalanan bumalik ng mga Marcoses. Oh, and what? Baka may chance maging vice-presidente pa si Amy Marcos. Dahil si Sara Duterte ay tuwan-tuwa kay Amy Marcos. Kaya I don't believe yung si Cheese is nag-audition kay VP for VP o Sara kasi hopeless case siya because mahaba yung pila at andun pa yung isa pang Marcos. So thank you talaga sa mga DDS. Parati nyo pinapalakas sa mga Marcos at binabalik nyo. Sorry na lang na Duterte din kayo. Dahil yun lang na ano kayo ng mga OG eh. No, but going back to this, kaya nga mahalaga, ayusin ni BBM yan. Whether dito yung sa Independent Commission on Infrastructure, my goodness, dapat ayusin natin Hindi lang dapat impeccable integrity ng mga miyembro nito. Hindi lang dapat kung sino mag-replace kay Magalong ngayon, hindi lang dapat beyond any reasonable doubt yung integrity ng mga tao doon. Hindi lang dapat may political will ng mga tao yan. Hindi lang dapat may mandato. May sapat na mandato itong Independent Commission on Infrastructure niyan. Mahalaga din guys na itong Independent Commission on Infrastructure ay meron din transparency. Yung mga hearings dapat nila, people should be able to tune in. Right? Dapat transparent. Hindi pwede pang transparency ka tapos hindi transparent yung proseso mo. What on earth, right? And then BBM also have to make sure na he will veto any kind of insertions. Siguro pause muna tayo sa lahat ng flood control projects unless we can get legit companies or institutions involved in this, or at least linisan lang muna natin yan. And BBM has to veto all sorts of different insertions and all. And pagbawalan na talaga dapat ang BICAM na yung mga secret meeting BICAM, yung secret BICAM. Kunyari lang yan nila yung BICAM na official. Hindi, yung secret BICAM na doon nag-insertions. Nako, ayusin yan. Dapat bawal yan. So BBM has these whatever levers of power. Obviously has levers of power. Basically, he oversaw yung change of leadership sa Congress. Hello. Some would say maybe BBM was kinda also in the mix nung natanggal si Cheese sa Senate. I mean, yes, in theory, everything's supposed to be separation of powers and all of that, but we know how things work in reality. But going back to this, I mean, this could get out of control. Kaya sabi ko mahalaga din, bantayan kung sinong potentially maging next ombudsman. Because the ombudsman should be someone who has both political will and at the same time someone who has someone who has all the necessary resources, all the necessary team, kasi ang kalabanin mo dyan, yung mga top law firms na magdidepensa doon sa mga crooks na, doon sa mga accused of corruption ng mga politiko Diba? Of course, innocent lahat, diba? And yun, exactly. So yung choice ng ombudsman is very important. But the other thing na dapat titignan din natin dito, guys, and super mahalaga to, super mahalaga ito. We have to make sure na hindi tayo magpapadala sa mga mga partisan fight, mga personal fights, mga turf wars ng itong mga ex-unit team na yan. Mahalaga yan. Kaya yung sinasabi nga namin ni Sec Ronald, diba? Innocent as a dove, diba? Pero wise as a serpent, diba? Kasi hindi dapat tayo magpabudol. Now, having said that, syempre maraming natuwa na at least hindi na presidente ng Senate sila Jesus Cordero, hindi na ganito, hindi na ganyan. But guys, or natanggal si Marcoleta dun sa Blue Ribbon Committee. Naalala ko pa rin yung mga sinasabi ng Justice Carpio kila Marcoleta, but mamaya yan. Somber muna tayo kasi grabe nangyari sa Cebu and of that. I mean, my goodness. Sa gitna ng ganitong tragedy at crisis, may oras pa tong Senado natin na maghahanas-hanas lang dyan sa ICC issue. And guys, walang jurisdiction ang Senado natin dun sa nangyari ICC niya. The time na tinurn over ng Philippine government, si Digong sa ICC, yun na yun. In fact, nag-fake news. Ito sila, yung abogado ni Digong, yung mga very Harry Roque style. Fake news yan. Yung sinasabi na, hindi, pumayag ng Philippine government kaya pwedeng interim list. Hello, wala nang kinalaman ng Philippine government. Diba? Decision nito ng ICC. Right? Decision nito base dun sa judgment ng ICC whether si Digong ay hindi flight risk. Paano naman hindi maging flight risk si Digong? Clearly, ang strategy nila dito is i-question yung jurisdiction, i-question yung legitimacy. Sinabi nga nila, kidnapper yung ICC na Tapos ngayon, sabi nila, okay, kung mapalaya mo kami ng temporarily or ganun, okay lang. Imagine guys, pag kinidnap ka, tapos sasabihin mo sa kidnapper, hindi ko mapalaya mo ako, hindi ako tatakas sa'yo. I mean, anong kalokohan yan, di ba? And then, of course, hindi lang flight risk. Mamaya baka suguran pa yung kung saan siya ma-house arrest. Baka mapaano pa siya. And what would stop him from making calls saying, oh, eto si ito, baka magsalita na ulit, itong witness na to, baka naman, or baka naman si ganito. Oh, di ba? Alam naman natin yan eh. Sino bang niloloko natin? Pinag-usapan namin ni Attorney Conti ilang beses na yan. And by the way, we'll have Senator Trillanes also on this show later this week para pag-usapan naman yung latest juicy updates niya from The Hague. The Hague. Marami din pag-usapan. Ibalik din natin si Sir Ronald para marami tayong juiciness. Tomorrow rin, mag-quadcom sana tayo with sila Attorney Jesus Falsis, Jess Falsis, and Kristan, and also Mark Cambo. Mag-quadcom din tayo. Pag-usapan natin, including yung disbarment case na sinampan ng isang magandang kilay laban sa mas malaking kilay, magandang kilay ng Jess Falsis na yan. Okay. Di ba makapal yung kilay ni Falsis eh? And then, you have this situation. Hindi ko alam kanong ek-ekan na yan. Saan yung sense of priority nyo? Saan yung sense ng, okay, anong gusto niya ipakita dito? I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this. Voting for interim release of Digong. First of all, wala kayong dyan. Okay, maghanash. Wala kayong jurisdiction dyan. Pangalawa, ito. Ito si GMRC. Ay, sorry, si Lacson. Ay, sorry, bakit yun ang lumabas? Sige, lagay natin. Ito nga ba, nakikiganyan-ganan na rin si Diskaya. Ito. Anong sinasabi niya? Ano daw? Anong pinagsasamay ekek na yan? Pang-meme natin yan, taas kilay. Sa akin lang po, for a fellow Filipino nandun sa napakalayong lugar at nakakakulong, I vote yes. So, sino mga nag-vote yes? Ang dami nila, yung isang Tulfo at least nag-abstain. Tapos nag-absent na naman si Lito Lapid. Si Cheese. Yung isang Villar. Isang Cayetano. Interesting. At least si Soto nag-abstain. And then of course, dun sa vote ng no, kitang-kita na naman sino talaga yung mga totoong progressive dyan. Totoong minority dyan. Guys, ito lang masasabi ko dito sa mga henyo natin ng mga senador. Ito lang masasabi ko. Ito. Sa daming problema ng bansa, ito pang atupag nyo. Para ano? Ito lang. I'm all for, absolutely, supportahan natin mga kaubayan natin, supportahan natin. I'm 100% for that. Pero bakit dito tayo naawa? Ba't hindi tayo naawa sa Kian de los Santos? Ba't tayo hindi naawa dun sa mga libo-libo sa ating mga kaubayan na nag-perish dun sa budol drug war na yan? Bakit hindi sila ang pinag-usapan? Yun ang problema ko eh. Bakit hindi sila yung pinag-usapan? Doon mo makita kung talagang may malasakit, may tunay na malasakit ang mga tao. Doon sa mga tunay na biktima. Tunay na biktima. Remember, nasa ICC itong mamang to dahil mabigat yung ebidensya na sangkot siya. Or basically, hindi lang sangkot, mastermind siya or chief architect siya. Together with yung isa pang senador na madrama-drama, mamaya mawawala the fires pa yan. Malaking ebidensya na involved ito sa mass atrocities. This is not a light issue. Okay? Hindi ito light issue na ito. Maawa ka dito pero hindi ka maawa sa mga Kian de los Santos, hindi ka maawa dun sa mga libo-libo na mga kaubayan natin from the most underprivileged and marginalized communities na walang boses, walang Kaufman, walang, alam mo na, di ba? Alam mo na lahat ng mga sarap buhay ni tatay, di ba? I mean, come on, what the heck? Di ba? And then meron ko makita mga ganitong picture. Ano to? Alam mo, wala namang problema kay pag-meeting si Lacson kahit kanino dyan. Pero, smile ka pa, tapos nakaganon. Guys, I have taken picture with all sorts of different people, but I'm not gonna go like, smile like that. Kung katabi ko yung isang tao na ayan tayo eh. Ayan talaga tayo, my goodness guys. Minsan hindi ko alam. Alam ko nakikinig ang tao sa atin para syempre mamulat sa mga nangyari, para magkaroon ng pag-intindi sa mga konteksto ng mga bagay-bagay. Pero alam ko rin minsan ng ating mga kaubayan dahil syempre gusto nila magkaroon ng pag-asa. Baka naman, kung sabi nga ni Richard, medyo naman si Richard, global, ganyan-ganyan. Alam naman niya siguro. Sabi naman siguro ni Richard, may pag-asa. Siguro may pag-asa, di ba? Tayo naman, go lang tayo ng go. We go around, ganyan-ganyan. And then, ganyan. Yan naman nangyari sa ato bayan. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Alam mo guys, ako parating ginagawa ko pag nasa abroad ako or dito sa Oxford, yung mga kasama ko dito na iba. Galing sa iba't ibang bansa, Slovakia, Panama, Somalia, whatever, like different countries. So pinag-usapan namin yung mga hirap ng politika natin, populism, fake news, disinformation, ganyan. Pero alam mo guys, ang napansin ko, yung isa sa pinakamalaking diferensya, meron ng mga Indonesians, mga ganyan. Nepalese, kahapon, isang Nepalese naman kausap ko, nasunog pa daw yung mga dokumento na almost, kaya hindi siya nakalipat dito sa Oxford daw almost, dahil sinunog-sunog yung mga kutob nila, yung mga mafia na nagpondo ng mga Jejemon gangs doon, para hindi mahanap yung mga documentos na involved sila. So, kunyari, kasama sa riot revolution, pero yung pala, bayaran nito ng mga contractors. So, ganun ka nakatakot. So, usually, ang ginagawa ko, kinakausap ko yung mga ibang kababayan, even yung mga Amerikano nga, sobrang stress na nangyari sa Amerika. Pero, guys, ang pinakamalala sa atin, guys, is ang kukunti ng maayos na leader natin. Ang dami-dami natin problema. Diyan, common tayo sa ibang bansa. Pero kanina isang Russian din ang kasamang kaibigan ko. Isang kasama ko kanina Russian din. Yung Russian naman, basically exiled na sila pero nagtrabaho doon sa isang Nobel Prize winner na kasama ni... Anyway, ang parating ko napansin, marami tayong similarities with other countries in terms of the kind of problems we face, like serious, complex issues we face. But the difference we have is that parang sobrang konti yung maayos. Sobrang konti yung matapang, na magaling. Tapos halos wala tayong real political parties. I mean, lahat ng mga countries na minensyo, even US, kahit messed up sila, at least there's one or some would say two real political parties. Kahit yung mga Eastern European countries na kaibigan ko, there's at least one or two real political parties na pwede magsama sa election. Turkey, pinag-usapan rin namin, may Turkish din ako kasama dito. Pinag-usapan namin yung pinaka-first day na pagdating ko dito, yung sa Turkey, nagsasama-sama yung CHP, nagkasama sa Slovakia, and then sinasabi ko sa Pilipinas, like, my goodness, ano ba nangyari sa atin? Senado pa lang natin, ganyan na lang. Kaya nga, alam ko nakakalungkot lalo, nakita ko pa, para tayo masyadong na-impress sa tao na ito. Hello, ito dati di ba dati ito inaaway niya si ganito. Ito dati, di ba DDS to dati. Ito, by the way, anong ginawa nila dati nung panahon ni Digong? Anong ginawa nila? Like, ito mga ibang senador niyan, maya naman saan sila. Wala nga silang ginawa para protektahan yung mga biktima ng EJK. Wala nga silang ginawa dahil I don't know kung takot sila or para mag-stand up kay Duterte. Ang mga nag-stand up lang sila Leila de Lima, Riza Ontiveros, sila Kiko, sila Bam, and of course most dramatically sila Sentry at saka si Leila de Lima, di ba? Who paid almost the ultimate price. Parang bakit ang konti? And then sobrang konting ganun. Tapos makikita mo yung iba na parang pwede na dahil hindi naman all out DDS or all ganyan or ganyan. Pero parang tapos ganyan. Kaya sabi ko minsan para sa amin yung mga nag-vlog, mga commentators, one of our biggest challenges is how to sustain the hope and how to sustain the dedication. And to be honest, talagang mental health. How are you gonna sustain the energy and dedication and all of that, diba? Kaya, yes, in a way, medyo therapy itong mga ginagawa natin at saka medyo nagre-real talk tayo dito. But guys, as much as we want to talk about how to fix our country, what should happen, minsan talaga guys, I think we have to be also honest about how bad things are. Things are really, really bad. The quality of leadership is really, really low. And the reason why the quality of leadership is really, really low sa atin is because really the best and brightest don't go into politics or are dissuaded from entering the politics. Or if few of them bother to go into politics, matatroll sila, makakasuhan sila, kung ano nang gagawin nilang kabastusan, kalokohan sa kanila, mawawala rin sila ng gana. Or worse, they're just gonna get marginalized and whatever. And this is a crisis. We have a crisis of leadership in the Philippines. And when you have crisis of leadership, everything else happens. Corruption happens, incompetence happens, kakistocracy. Kanina lang I was talking about Diogenes, about the cynics, about Socrates, etc. And then I was like, we have kakistocracy, what the Greeks define as the rule of the worst type. Like when the worst types end up in position of leadership, that's where you got kakistocracy. I mean, again, there's some here good and there, but I mean honestly, just get the average level of achievements, integrity, whatever. Like, 'di ba? Yun nga eh. Kaya nga happy tayo na may Vico Soto, may Risa, may Kiko, may Bam, may Lenny, may yeah, but like okay, even if I stretch this, we're gonna get what 20 out of 400 or stretch this even for like 50 out of 500 like yun nga eh. I honestly guys, I'm telling you, real talk talaga tayo dito. Kasi ako, I always look at glass half full dahil syempre I feel responsible. Ayoko naman yung lang magbanat lang tayo ng banat, wala naman substance or banat tayo ng banat and then wala naman tayong ginagawa. Ako naman I always believe in solution-based analysis and criticism. But we have to be also honest with how bad things are in our country. And as I said, past 2-3 days, kinausap ko yung mga kaibigan natin from all around the world and I would say we have many similar problems. But at least one thing they got that we don't have is that they have real political parties and countless number of good leaders, young leaders, Gen Z leaders, millennial leaders, like 20 Vico Sotos, 30 Riza Ontiveros, you know what I'm saying? Yung mga tipong matapang ni Senator Trillanes type, and yun ang parang ano yun eh. Standard operating procedure dun sa mga ibang mga party leaders dito, ibang countries. Oh. Kaya sabi ko, I never romanticize other countries. Like, ang gulo ng politics dito sa Britain. Baka anytime ma-dissolve itong ruling pile. Like, I have no illusions about how broken politics is almost in every major democracy I know. Absolutely. So, hindi ako yung, walang ganyan sa UK or walang ganyan sa Singapore. Hindi tayo ganyan. Na? Like, alam natin magulo ang mundo. But at least may mga matitinong leaders sila na hindi lang 10 lang, hindi lang 20 out of 500, di ba? Like, they're real yun talaga guys ang malaking problema natin. And we have to be really, really honest about that. That we have nothing less than crisis of leadership sa ating bansa. Like, my goodness. Good grief, how bad the crisis of leadership. And then you have this crisis of leadership. And then makikita mo ang Pilipinas, most prone to climate change. And then you have this earthquake. Then you have massive corruption. You have the most food insecure nation in Southeast Asia based on some data and numbers I saw. I mean, my goodness talaga, guys. And then hanggang ngayon, and then because of 6 years of digong yan, na normal. Yan na, may katrapuhan nga tayo. May incompetence na tayo. Tapos dinagdagan pa ng mga DDS. Itong kabastusan, itong trolling, etc. Yung version nila ng cancel culture, papalitan nila yung sinabi mo, iti-twist nila yung sasabi, papapersonal ng grata ka ng kung saan-saan, para lang ika-cancel ka. Yung mga ganun, like, that's what I'm saying, guys. You need tremendous amount of politics of conviction, guys. And at the same time, really, really, really faith in the Filipino people, which I have. I have faith in our people. I don't have faith in our politicians. But our politicians came from our people. Hindi na mga alien to mga to. Which tells you something is going on, that we're not making the best of us, our leaders. Either mediocre or worse, and then some sprinkles of good and mighty here and there. So, ako, nagre-real talk lang talaga tayo. Kasi just whenever I thought, Ayan na naman, at least napalitan ng ganito. Baka naman pwedeng ganito. And then may marinig ka na naman ganito. May makikita ka naman ganyan. Like, and it's indefensible. No, there's no reason to even explain it. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous. It's unjustifiable. I don't care whatever pretentious Shakespearean English, whatever prose gusto magpa ano yung mga iba or magpa-GMRC yung iba. Like, wala akong pake. Kung may sablay, sablay talaga. And then you look at the long history, yeah, it's like, what were we expecting, right? What were we expecting? So, on that very depressing note, just kidding, guys. Tuloy pa rin ang laban. Kasi ang problema, guys, ganun if we don't do what we do, lalong lulubog talaga yung bayan natin. Kawawa yung mga bayan natin na walang mga pribilyeho na meron tayo. Diba? Like, some of us have the privileges of moving out, moving about, moving into some other people who can help us. Pero never forget yung ibang kababayan natin who don't have those privileges, who don't have those options, who don't have the mobility and the resources. So whatever we do, guys, is because of our sense of responsibility dun sa mga ating mga kababayan, million sa ating mga kababayan who are really a victim of one of the most incompetent and rapacious political elites anywhere in the post-colonial world. All right, I think that puts things into perspective, right? And kaya every time ako nawawala ako ng gana talaga, parang bakit ko pa pag-usap? Parang sayang lang yung ano natin dyan, yung laway natin dyan, di ba? And of course, I want to use my brain cells for something more important. Dito nga tayo, in the oldest university on earth, or one of the most prestigious and oldest. I want to put my time into writing about geopolitics, industrial policy, economics, etc. And they're like, but of course, I have this sense of responsibility that we have to do this. We have to engage, di ba? Dapat tuloy-tuloy ito. Dahil guys, if we don't do it, di ba? The battlefield will be dominated by the worst, trashiest, fake newsy, walang hiya, tabad na mga propagandists and trolls. But at the same time, guys, sana naman, while we're trying to fix the political discourse, the vlogging world, the podcasting world sa Pilipinas, eventually, guys, kailangan na talaga natin palitan tong mga leaders natin. Napakawalang kwenta talaga. Sorry talaga. I'm sorry talaga. Indefensible. Honestly, ma-abolish yung Senate na yan. Whatever. I don't think it will make the Philippines any less in bad. Honestly. Yeah, why not? Let's talk about the parliamentary system, whatever. Now, talk about it. I'm not saying let's jump into it. All I'm saying is things are so bad. Things are so hopeless. The leadership level is the quality is so low, right? We have to really think outside the box. And we have to think about, if by some chance, if by some chance we get the right president or leaders in 2028 and God willing, walang coup d'etat or crazy stuff happens in the meantime, we really need systemic reform, guys. Talagang transformative change ang kailangan natin. I'm beginning to lose confidence in the reformability of the existing state of affairs, right? May mga bagay na pwede mong ayusin di ba? And then, darating sa isang panahon or isang punto kung saan sabihin mo, yeah, you need something more drastic than that. Hindi lang pwede lang. Yung mga tinkering around the corner won't cut it, right? So I think the game plan here is not only to make sure we get the best possible presidents and senators and congressmen or whatever come 2028. Pero guys, if ever by chance we do that, dapat handa tayo talaga na palitan yung sistema and all of that. Business as usual doesn't work because kawawa yung mga kababayan natin. Tayo, nalulungkot tayo, naiinis tayo, etc. Pero huwag natin kalimutan na marami sa ating mga kababayan, this is a matter of whether they're gonna go hungry tomorrow or today. This is a matter of whether they're gonna be safe tomorrow or today. It's a matter of whether they're gonna make it to another year, right? It's a matter of whether they'll have access to basic education or healthcare. I mean, seryoso mga bagay na ito, guys. Alright? On that note, magpahinga muna tayo. That was a long day. I have another long day ahead, but we're hoping to have ituloy natin yung mga episodes na ginagawa natin. At despite the time constraints and the scheduling conflicts, hopefully we'll push forward to that. And please don't forget to be part of our community on YouTube. It's wala naman tayong Patreon account, so this is one way of supporting whatever little thing we're doing here. As you could see, I am doing my best to set up the best possible interviews whenever I'm on the move. And please check out yung mga latest episode na in-upload natin, is including yung J&J, dalawang Justice Ascuna and Justice Scarpio. Please check out that episode, the fully edited, but walang man natanggal, like proper edited production level. We uploaded that. These things are not cheap. These things are not free, right? We have to really and of course getting the luminaries that, like organizing and all of that is no joke, and we're extremely grateful. These are mga luminaries who lend their time and their ideas and their patriotism to us during our podcasts. Yeah, so please don't forget to be part of our little community para tuloy-tuloy lang itong momentum natin, and then upload din natin hopefully by tomorrow. I'm hoping to get uploaded yung ating legendary all-star Ronald Llamas, Justice Scarpio, Justice Ascuna, talagang all out. Yun, lagay natin sana yan. As you notice, I had to take out the initial live version kasi at least one of our guests was not aware that the whole thing was live. So I'm sorry. I mean, out of respect and all that, that was doing very well. We had like almost 5,000 coterminous spontaneous views. So in 1 hour, we got 75,000 views. So that would have been our 1 million, 2 million view video on YouTube sana. We get multi-million views on Facebook, Instagram, others, but I don't think I've done 1 million yet on YouTube. We have 700, 800,000, 500,000 followers, but sayang. Actually, malungkot ako nung, it's like, oh my God, I have to tanggal. But yeah, I had no choice. Imagine within the first hour, parang 75,000 views na agad. So that's easily 1 million or 2 within a day or 2. So, sayang. But hopefully the finals version will come out tomorrow. But this is what we do. We do it because we love what we do, but also because we feel responsible, to be honest. Minsan, parang relasyon yan eh. Hindi na pagmamahal lang eh. Diba? Hindi lang romance ang pinag-usapan eh. Sometimes it's just conviction and commitment. You really just need that. Alright? So, thank you so much guys sa inyong lahat, sa inyong pagmamahal, sa inyong suporta. If not for you guys, right? Anong you were shocked? Yung kaya, no? Kami rin, di ba? Ilang beses ko wait, parang tell all 3 times kami ni Sir Ronald ay nagsabi, wait sir, alam niyo ba live to? Kasi, parang, sabi ni Ronald, oh, grabe siya, no? Tapos ako naman, wow, tell all. Yung pala, hindi niya alam na live. Oh my God. Oh my God, sayang. Sayang talaga. Like, sobrang sayang. So, we had to go through this. Yeah, met. Awanin, alpasan. There's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, so we had to review it again just to make sure nothing untowardly was said. But more or less, you're gonna have the thing, right? More or less. Yeah, almost the entire thing we will be publishing tomorrow. Pero sayang momentum. Sayang talaga. Sobrang malungkot ako nun. I mean, I'll be honest, sobrang malungkot ako. Like, after, like, oh my God, hindi ko na, sayang yun. That was like, classic. That was like, momentum rin kasi yan eh. That was like, wow. That would have been the gold standard of political podcasting in the Philippines at least, no? But, sabi ko nga eh, you just have to pick up the pieces and move forward and do what you have to do, right? And do it for the right reason. Do it for the right reason and do it because you have the right intentions at may pagmamahal ka sa bayan, right? So on that note, guys, maraming salamat. God bless. Even dun sa mga trolls natin and all, because you give us engagement. So thank you so much for that and talk to you soon.